Hi everyone, and welcome back to Art with Mrs. S. Now that we've drawn our apple today, we're going to start adding some color with those oil pastels. If you don't have oil pastels at home, you could also use crayons, or maybe you have some type of paint at home you could use, or you could even blend with crayons or colored pencils if you had to. So I went ahead and I dug out, I have my red, I have a white, I have a green, light or dark, I also have black, and I have brown with me today. So an easy way to get started with these, I'm just going to go ahead and color in my stem brown. You'll notice right away these are really smooth. They're very vibrant colors. I'm done with my stem. Green's a great color for my leaf up here at the top. Just like with crayons, when I'm coloring with these, I want to try to stay inside of the space that I drew. Coloring heavy, solid, and dark, all the way up to those edges. Almost all that white space should disappear. Another fun thing that you can try with these oil pastels, if I wanted to mix or blend a couple different greens and really fill that in heavy, solid, and dark, that'd be fine too. And you'll notice this oil pastel, they'll get on your fingers a little bit. You get kind of this grimy, greasy feeling. You'll be okay. The next thing I'm going to do is take my white, and sometimes it gets a little gross around the edges too. You can kind of flake some of that off or just leave it. And inside that circle, I'm going to fill in white. And if it gets a little gooey gross, that's okay. I'm going to go outside of that circle some. So I'm really going to keep that rounded circle shape as I'm going around and adding a lot of color. I want my apple to be red. So with my red, almost all the rest of this apple is going to be that red. And then I'll show you how we can do some of this blending, kind of like you would with paint, but with these oil pastels. Notice how fast it goes when I'm coloring these. You don't have to press too terribly hard, but I am putting some pressure down on my paper. I can trace the outline if it helps me. Now I'm not going to go on top of that white circle I just colored in. And I can actually take that white and blend it right back into this red. See how if I'm not pressing hard enough, it gets a little lighter in there? Sometimes your paper, you'll need to tear it back like we do with crayons so that you can still use some of that oil pastels. They get used up really fast. You'll want to make sure that if you drop one of these, you keep them off the floor, because if you step on them, they get squished and it ends up being a very big mess for you, and then you can't use your oil pastels anymore. So keep these up on the tables. You should have a nice tray, or if you have some store-bought ones, you might have a nice container to hold all of them in. Fill this in really nicely, heavy, solid, and dark, best as I can. And then you'll notice where that white circle, that highlights at, I'm going to leave that, and I can actually blend in some more where that red's at. It'll kind of make this pink color and really get that highlight glowing. Look at that. And you could practice going back and forth, blending in different colors if you'd like. Or maybe if you want to add in a little orange or a little yellow, you can do that. See how it blends? A lot of times you'll see apples that have a combination of colors. They're not just one solid red or one solid green. They might have a little bit of orange or pink even, or those yellows, like I said. And sometimes they're a little green and a little red. That's good for now. I'll probably go back in and darken that up some, but I want to show you the last part. We're going to add color to the shadow today. So I'm going to move to my black, and we'll go this way. I'm going to outline that shadow. This is where that light is cast against that apple, just like we have a shadow and other objects have shadows. And this could be on a table, or maybe it's sitting on the ground or in the grass. I filled in my shadow. Sometimes gray can make a nice color for a shadow. It really just kind of depends on the lighting or what effect or mood you're going for. So if you want to blend in other colors, maybe that black's a little too dark for you, it goes right up to the edge of that apple until it's all filled in heavy, solid, and dark. Awesome. Can't wait to see your apples finished. Thanks for joining me today.